My voice. So we'll come back again to redox chemical reaction and basic solution. Another example. So, okay, so this is gonna be another example. Okay, it's gonna be uh, zinc. Okay, zinc. What's this? Zinc plus nitrite, right? Like this. Zinc positive 2, okay, plus oxygen gas, okay. Then, okay, start now, step 1, assigning of the oxidation number and oxidation state, okay. This zinc is a free element, a solo element 0, and the nitrite is equal to overall charge -1. For nitrogen, x times 1, charge times subscript plus charge of oxygen negative 2 times subscript 3. So 1 times x, negative 2 times 3, negative 6 is equals to -1, x is equals to -1, transpose positive 6, x is equals to 5. And this is x is equals to 5. The oxidation number of nitrogen is 5. Okay, like that. And then zinc positive 2, already given the charge. And then oxygen is also 0, the atomic molecule or the atomic gas. Okay? So take a look who among them have gained electrons and loses electrons. Okay? Increase in oxidation state is gonna be zinc. Okay? From 0 to positive 2, increase in oxidation number, meaning loss of 2 electrons. Loss of 2 electrons, meaning from positive 0 to 2. Okay? This is gonna be oxidation. Okay, oxidation process. Okay, and then the zinc is being oxidized. Okay, and then the zinc also is our reducing agent. Okay? Okay, most of the metals are reducing agents and will oxidize in the process of oxidation because they are mostly or all of them are electropositive. They will lose their electrons and give to the nonmetals. Okay? Like that. Okay, that's general understanding of metals. Okay? Now we have the nitrogen. Nitrogen is nothing left. Okay, so we cannot do that one. Okay, so I think this is gonna run in a chemical reaction, I think so. Okay, by my visual inspection, it's impossible we don't have nitrogen on the right. Okay, see? So we need to put nitrogen dioxide, right? Based on my visualization, it's gonna be wrong. Okay, so that's gonna be nitrogen dioxide, but still 0 is the charge, right? Okay, the nitrogen dioxide or nitrous oxide. Really? Yes. Nakaloka. And O2. So it's gonna be nitrogen have a positive charge of 2 also. Really? Okay, let's try this one. So nitrous oxide overall charge is 0, right? So it's equal to 0. Nitrogen X, that X is the oxidation state of nitrogen, so X times 1. Negative 2 oxygen, negative 2 times 2. 1 times X, negative 2 times 2, negative 4 is equals to 0. X is equals to 4. The charge of nitrogen here is 4. Oxidation state. Really? Yes. Negative 2 times 2, negative 4, then plus 4, it is equal to 0. Okay? Like that. Another way to say that is that get the oxidation state charge of oxygen and negative 2 times 2, negative 4 plus 4 is equal to 0. So that's trial and error. Okay? Another also method. Okay? Then we have nitrogen is going to be decreasing in oxidation number. It's going to be gaining of 1 electrons, right? Okay. Okay. Oxygen doesn't contribute to the redox because the charge doesn't change. So from 5 to 4, okay, there's a difference of 1, meaning gain of 1 electron. Gain of 1 electron, and there's gonna be reduction process. And then, okay, the nitrogen is being reduced. Nitrogen is being reduced, and your oxidizing agent is your nitrite. Okay? Like that. Oxidizing agent is nitrate. As you can see in my discussion, this is complete package. You cannot see this in the books because in the books they will never put the package of the process, or it's being oxidized, or it's being the agent that is being reduced oxidized. This is only my own initiative so that maximize of the of the theories. Okay, like that. So this agent is nitrite because in most questions in the examinations, I really observe it's gonna be like this. Okay, for example, what among elements, for example, which of the following elements are oxidizing agents? Like that A, B, C, D. Which of the following element is not a reducing agent? So usually the question it looks like that. So if we master that kind of approach in our discussion, then we can easily detect the oxidizing agent, reducing agent, oxidize, reduce, right? So compared to don't emphasize, if we don't emphasize that much, then we don't have really what is one, the clear picture of what is really being oxidized and what elements being oxidizing agent, like that, blah, 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 so on. So, okay, ganon. Because the process is very, very basic to consider, oxidation and reduction, right? Okay. Now, after the step one, this is the step one really, assigning of oxidation state, right? Assigning of oxidation state. Assigning of oxidation state. Okay, you have this in mind because it's not good to memorize. You will have only the rules. Okay, the sequential rules to follow. Okay, number two we have the give the half reactions. Okay, half reactions. Okay, half reactions. Like this only. Half reactions. Alright. So first oxidation half reaction OHR. Oxidation half reaction OHR, right? Okay. So oxidation is here zinc, right? Zinc to zinc plus 2. So zinc, okay, to zinc plus 2. Okay? Ganun siya mga palangga. So take note. So this is oxidation, meaning loss of electrons. So when we mean of loss of electrons, meaning the adding of electrons is in the right side. Okay, I don't have to explain over and over again that supposedly it will be added to zinc. But since we cannot put minus on zinc, that's why it will transpose to the right. Supposedly like this, zinc minus 2 electrons. Because this zinc is an electropositive, because this is a metal in theory. So you say, zinc minus 2 electrons because it will be lost and give to the zinc positive 2. Now, in chemistry, there's no negative in chemical reactions, always plus, 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 plus. So the only thing to make this plus is to transpose this to the right. That's why it will become zinc positive 2 plus 2 electrons. So we will not put on the left. That's the reason behind. Okay? Why? Okay, like this. So it's not magic. There's a reason behind why it will become the side of zinc positive 2. Okay? Ganon. Then balance the balance the oxidation reaction. Zinc, 1 mole of zinc, 1 mole of zinc. Okay, perfect. Okay, now this is also okay because I go directly. But if we balance the charges, we will also determine 2 electrons here. But wait, I put 2 electrons because in here, loss of 2 electrons. Okay? Then actually you can put immediately also here plus 2 electrons. But I want that to explain where these 2 electrons come from aside from this assigning of electrons lost. So it's gonna be the balancing of the charges. Okay, because we've done in balancing the atoms, we balance the charges. Okay, charge of zinc, so 0 because this is a metal. 0 times 1 is equals to 0. Okay, and then zinc, positive 2, charge, positive 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, plus x. Let x the number of electrons that you are trying to solve. Okay, plus x. Guys, module niya akong ginagamit all the time when I was in college and it will help a lot. They always let x as the unknown quantity to be solved if I cannot understand. And then sometimes also I found maximum of three unknowns that I have to establish three equations to determine the degrees of freedom so that I can solve the problems. It's gonna be like that. Degrees of freedom, what we mean for that is always like this. The number of unknowns will always equal to the number of equations you will be able to use. Now, if it doesn't match, it's very difficult to solve for the unknowns. Okay, at least you have three unknowns, three equations to be used, or two equations to be used, and the unknowns are one. Always like that. So many equations rather than unknowns are so many. Okay, because you still have the standards to be used. Standards. Okay, and constants to be used somewhere along the way. Okay, makalula yung mga constants sa science. Ala. Okay, if you try to memorize every constant in chemistry and physics, there's a lot. Okay, for example, permittivity constant 8.55 times 10 to the negative 8 Newton per column meter squared, like that. And then it will delivers also electrostatic charge. Ganon, 8.99 times 10 to the 9 meter squared column per column, Newton meter squared column, like that. So imagine electrostatic charge constant is not the same with electric charge constant of columns 1.607 times 10 to the negative 19 columns. A lot of constants. Really, if you will memorize all the columns, it would be an advantage for you. Okay, in taking up the board examination. Okay, for licensure examination engineering. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. Okay, and then don't forget the constants also in physics, the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, a lot. Really, guys, you should enumerate at least that in one notebook, all constant lang siya. Because when I was in college, I put all the constants in science, and then day by day I will memorize. Okay, like that. So many guys, really. Okay, and also the K, the constants, and the number, Avogadro number, like that, blah blah blah, so and so a lot. Faraday constant, my gosh, Planck constant, Stefan Boltzmann constant, like that. Okay, ebullioscopic constant, cryoscopic constant, like that. Okay, you have to memorize, really, guys. If you don't memorize, then nana. Okay, you get the point. So 2 plus x is equals to negative 2 electrons. We'll put that here. Okay, like that. Okay. Okay, like that. 2 electrons. Positive 2 electrons. Now also I will give you a technique also. Just put in one notebook all the constants. Put also in one notebook all the formulas. Okay, formulas and equations. And another notebook for principles, theories, and concepts, processes, operations, like that. Okay, there's a lot also. Okay, for example, evaporation, centrifugation, flotation, sedimentation, screening, evaporation, like that, condensation, sublimation, vaporization, diffusion, a lot, really, guys. Okay, coagulation, precipitation, neutralization, hydrolysis, like that, flotation, coagulation, there's a lot. You get the distillation, extraction, absorption, adsorption. Oh my gosh, so many, really. Okay, you will memorize that all both the physical and chemical separation processes. Okay, chemical separation process, itong may mga chemical change, like that, adding a catalyst, mga ganun, or inhibitor, like that, polymerization, catalytic cracking, right? Things like that, and then pyrolysis, like that. Okay, you get the point. Ganon. Sobrang dami yan, guys. Okay? And then, we have go to the reduction half reaction. Okay? Like that. Okay. So, we have the reduction. Okay. Nitrate guys. Okay. Nitrite. Not nitrate, nitrite because it's negative one. Okay, nitrate. Okay? Like that. Now, nitrate mga palaga is gain of the electrons. So gain of the electrons, reductions, you have to put the electrons beside the nitrite in the left. So plus X is equal to NO2. Guys, mga palangga. Okay, mga palangga. Ako rin siya guys ha. You can never found this in the book. This is my own explanation in order for me to solve it easily. In the books, in the Google search, in the net, you cannot find like this explanation. This is only my attack and approach in order I can easily understand. Okay? And so that I can share it to you guys. Because when I was in college, I found difficulty really for this topic because I don't know why the electrons will come out automatic. The instructor will just like this, and he will put immediately and the students don't know why they put the electrons beside here, beside that there, and sometimes it will be there. There must be a reason behind, and the instructors and professors have failed to discuss what's the reason why the electrons are beside the nitride, beside the like this. They will go directly and then go to the problem solving. And then the concepts and principles are, dihado. Okay, so they cannot understand, including myself, I cannot understand very well. Okay, disclaimer, not all, okay, but some, especially old instructors and professors. Okay, old. Okay, because they cannot explain very well. Okay, so nitride, okay, plus X plus NO2, like that. Okay, because you can solve this in another way around, like the trial and error method. Okay, for example, I will show you how. We will not put X here, just like this. So balance the charges like this. Okay, negative 1 times 1 is equals to 1, right? And the other side, 0 times 1 is equals to 0. Then add what will be going to add to 1 so that it will become to 0. Like this. That's only the method of the teachers before. You will add electrons something so that it will become 0 on the right. Okay, you will add say 1 electron so that it will become equal to 0. So meaning this is trial and error method. And then sometimes you will say, sir, why I cannot add electrons in the right? Why always in the left? Supposedly it's also okay, as long as it will be okay also equal to 1 also on the other side. You get the point? Or did you get my point? Okay, because the scenario here like this, okay, if this is always the discussion or explanation of the instructor, for example, we have the left charge is equals to negative 1, okay, and the other one is 0, right? The first thing comes on your mind, you need to think of an electron to be added to negative 1 so that it will become equal to 0. And another version, you need to think of an electron to be added to 0 so that it will become to negative 1 also. So there's a confusion, right? So if you let your discussion to be like this, okay, since this nitrate is gaining electrons, then the electrons should be added on the right na talaga siya, specifically. Okay, so we will say plus X, right? Then this is the electron, we'll solve this mathematically. Okay, mathematically. So you're gonna say negative 1 times 1 plus X is equals to 0 times 0, X is equals to 1. Yung ganon. Diba? You get the point mga palangga? So that when you add this 1 to 0, it will become equal to negative 1 rather side. Nga ba siya guys? Okay? Get the point? Naglibog dyan ko anito. Basta. We can't explain further. Okay? So nakaingon dyan ko guys ba? So if I know this before, I think my score is high. In my personal average on my score in the chemical engineer's board examination. If I know lang talaga siya. Okay? Because it was late discovered by me. When I am already a licensed chemical engineer, late I understand these things. This. Okay? The technique are late being discovered by me. When I was in first year college, second year college, like I did not discover these things. Okay? So that's why I'm telling you, if I know all these things before, when I go back to my college, maybe my score also will become higher. Okay? Like that. Um, like this. Okay? So again, balance the charges plus x. Okay. Negative 1, the charge of nitrate, negative 1 times 1 plus x is equals to 0 cancel equals to 0. So, negative 1 plus x is equals to 0. X is equals to 1. 1 electron should be added here. Okay, 1 electron should be added and then nitrite. So, it's equal also here. 1 electron, right? So, ganun siya. Okay, then balance the oxygen. Okay, or the and the nitrogen. Nitrogen 1 balance, nitrogen 1 balance. Oxygen, this is not balance mga talaga ha. Okay, because the other is 2, the other one is 1 only. Now, you make this 2, you need to add 1 water only, supposedly. Okay, say 1 water. Okay, 1 water. So that it will become 2 oxygen to the right like that, and plus 2H positive. This is the rule, right? Okay, balance again. 2H, O2, O2, okay, H2, then nitrogen balance, bingo. Ganon. Now, add the two reaction, the one, the OHR and the RHR, the oxidation of reaction and the reduction of reaction. So, if you have these two guys, we need to equal the electrons. But in the oxidation, we have 2 electrons, and the other one, the reduction, we have 1 electron. So you have to multiply 2L2 to the second equation so that it will cancel the 2 electrons above. So multiply this by 2. Ganon. So 2, this is going to be 2 moles of water plus 2 moles of nitrite. Okay, plus 2 electrons. No, 1 electrons because the electrons is not being multiplied. I forgot to scratch out. Only the electrons is not multiplied because it will be cancelled later on. Okay? Cancel. Okay, and then we have the 2 nitrous oxide plus, diba, 4H. Ayan. So this will be your final half reduction. Add this with your oxidation here. Okay, I will erase because there's no space. I cannot discuss very well. Okay, mga palangga. Okay, I will erase this one ha. Okay, ganon. Okay, now it's gonna be like this. So I will say group all the reactants and group all the products. Okay, in this case, in the equation 1, I have only zinc in my reactant. Okay, like that. So zinc. Okay, when I mean reactant, that's on the left. Okay, zinc. And then the other reaction, the reduction of reaction, plus 2 moles of water is in the reactant, and the 2 moles of nitrite. Okay, and then we have also, okay, zinc positive 2. Zinc positive 2 plus 2 moles of nitrite, and then plus 4H, right? Okay, ganon. Zinc positive 2, gagawin, chuba-chuchu, 2 Okay, this will be our final equation, redox in basic soluna. Acidic pa rin siya, guys. Okay? Acidic, the letter basic. Because the rule, you need to perform first the acidic solution prior to basic solution. Meaning to say, redox in basic solution is dependent in acidic solution. You have to do first the acidic, then add the basic solution. Okay? They are complementary, something like that. Okay? Now, okay, you need to balance the chemical equation first. Zinc, nitrogen, nitrogen, 2, oxygen 4, oxygen 4, ganon, and then hydrogen 4, hydrogen balance. Perfect. Now I have 2 moles of water. The procedure in basic solution, you have to add both sides with hydroxide group, hydroxyl or hydroxide. No, like that. So in here, okay, it's reverse. You have to add 4OH because the H is here. So 4H positive plus 4 hydroxide. So it's equals to 4 moles of water. Oh, ganon. So 4 moles of water. Okay? Kung ano siyang bilis guys, always the same. If we have 4H, 4OH will be added. Okay? Like that. And then 4OH also in the left. Okay? Plus 4OH. Ganon. Now take note the common compounds and elements left and right so that we can cancel that or subtract that. Okay, we have the water in the left, we have the water in the right. So 4 minus 2 is 2. We remove the 2 moles of water in the left because the 4 moles of water in the right is bigger. So this will become 2. 4 minus 2 is 2 moles of water. And now finalize your reaction. It's gonna be zinc plus 2 moles of nitrite plus 4OH negative is equals to zinc positive 2 plus 2 NO2 nitrous oxide plus 2 moles of water, like that. Now, balance again the number of atoms finally. Okay, because this is not the basic solution. Okay? Now, I'm gonna say zinc. Because we have zinc, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, our elements involved here. Okay, so first zinc. Zinc in the left, zinc in the right, balance. Nitrogen in the left, nitrogen in the right, balance. Oxygen in the left, oxygen in the right, 4 plus 2, 6, to balance. Okay, hydrogen in the left, 4, and the other one is for balance. Perfect. So this is gonna be our final redox in basic solution. Zinc plus 2 nitrite plus 4 moles of hydroxide is equal to zinc positive 2 plus 2 moles of nitrous oxide plus 2 moles of water. Ganon. So, diba? Okay. It's gonna be like, oh my gosh. Okay. Any questions so far for this? Nothing, right? Okay. So, nothing. Okay. I will erase this one. Okay. And now our next topic will be easy because it's all about equilibrium, stresses in equilibrium discovered in, Lee Chatelier's principle discovery in 1901, 19th century. He said, this is the first theory I memorized in high school. Okay? It says that whenever a stress is applied to a system of equilibrium, the equilibrium will shift in such a way to reduce the stress. Like that. And what are these stresses? Temperature, pressure, volume, number of moles, like that. Okay? So it's gonna be like that, okay? Actually, this is the first theory I memorized in chemistry. Lee Chatelier's principle discovery in 1901, 19th century. Okay? Something like that. And this is very useful also in college, general chemistry lectures. So by the time I reached college, I did not find difficulty in this topic because I found mastery already when I was in high school in chemistry. Okay? Like that, because before winning the chemistry quiz bowl in a school before, I studied all the theories like that, okay? And then I prepared too much. Okay? That's what I told you. Memorize list of the formulas like that, remembering the constants. Because these constants, for example, acceleration due to gravity, it's already discussed in, senior high school in physics, elementary physics. the 9.81 meter per second squared, the 32.2 feet per second squared, like that, acceleration due to gravity, in which you will be able to substitute that to the second law of Isaac Newton. Force is equals to mass times acceleration, right? And you'll be able also to replace or substitute that to the weight is equals to the mass times acceleration due to gravity. Weight is equals to the mass times acceleration due to gravity, so that you can get the weight in terms of Newton. Something like that. Okay? So it's gonna be, you should memorize better when you are still in your lower years, so that it will become your foundation, stock knowledge and acquired knowledge. Really guys, it's really the stock knowledge who will make you to pass the examination. Okay? Because the difficulty are only puno-puno ra man siya guys. Puno-puno ra ba? Ito-tuyok ra ka, pero kung naatay foundation, you can really answer well. Okay, you get the point. Ganun siya. And especially if you love also the subjects you are studying. Okay? Not only for the purpose of having a good grades, but also you really want to learn so that you can apply that in your daily life. Okay? So that will be your target. Learn the subjects so that you can apply that in your daily life. Not only to pass that subject so that you have a good grade. Okay? Because that is a superficial or shallow reasoning just to have a grade to pass enough. No, you need to learn that one because you need to apply that in your day-to-day life. Ganon. Okay? Level up. Ganon siya. Okay, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you kayo Kuya Batya for watching. Oh, ang dami kong mga viewers, mga palangga. I love you. Baby and Sarah. Claro que magbigay Sarah po ni. In fairness. Okay. Like ako yung ipapas ang kuan. Akong gi-quote diri ari na kalimot yung ko. So akong gi-quote diri ari guys. It says that why does the kakampings are always refueling the past and connect in the present? Something like that. And then, what's the other sentence there? And then, it's time to move on and embrace the present and face the future. Something like that. Negative campaigning will not help. Something like that. Okay? So, it's gonna be like that. So, we will not be buried from the past, because the past is so mysterious and we cannot explain because we are not in that era watching those events sequentially. So we cannot tell who among them are wrong, who among them are right, something like that. And we cannot document everything because the world is made by fabrication. We cannot tell who among them are telling the truth. So it's best to face the reality, embracing the present, and face the future and move on and bury the past and target to have a better goal, to have a better country and a better Philippines, something like that, right? So it's gonna be like that. Okay, we should, we should be smart. Okay, like that. Dito talaga smart. Yes. Okay, like that. And then we will not be forever stagnant, parang sirang plaka pa ulit-ulit. And general. You know general? So, magnanakaw, that term is very general. I can't say magnanakaw to anybody else. Really, that's a general term. But the important term is you can really have the solid evidence to fight for that, then fine. Then if there's no solid evidence, that would remain a hearsay or a haka-haka, or let's say insufficient evidences and proofs. Okay, especially if you are not proven guilty up to this point in time. Something like that, right? Okay. It's gonna be like, you cannot understand sometimes, right? And then also another thing, another issue also, before, if they are really concerned for that issue before, that was 1994. And then now, how many years? 25 years? And just now they did that issue because it's already election year. So meaning to say, they use that issue to politicize, okay, to insert that one, believing that This is the reason in order that their candidate will rise and the other one candidate will go down. That's what they believe. But that strategy will no be longer effective nowadays. Really. Only fool will believe to that. If OOL. Okay? Get the point. So if it is really, what do you call this one in a Supreme Court, final and executory, for example, there's already a conviction. Then 1994, 1999, those people are being put into jail already. Okay? But why until now not? That means there's an insufficient evidence. And the PCGG also, guys, really, you know the story? PCGG is created by, the late Cory Aquino. Okay? Of course, he will do something to fabricate against the Marcoses. And that's common sense. And then, up to now, they failed to prove. Okay? They failed to prove the evidence correctly. That's why, until now, buhay pa si Madam Imelda. Diba? Okay, and now, patay na sila, nandun na sila sa semeteryo. O diba? So if the devils will be disappearing, but the good ones will remain. Nakakaloka. And then also, if you do good things, your life will be extended on earth. Okay? And one example is Ma'am Imelda Marcos. Okay? God extended her life up to this time because he really do good deeds compared to the Aquinos who are already in the cemetery. Okay? Meaning to say, there's a lot of, fabrications, anomalies, or any mysterious that we don't know yet until now. Okay? Like that. And even up to now, ang murag sila-sila na sa nagpatay sa ilang kuan. Si Noy Noy. Noy Noy Aquino is a leader of the communist, partner of Joma Sison. Okay? I will tell you the story. This Joma Sison and Ninoy Aquino is a communist. Ninoy Aquino wants to become the president at the time. Okay? He is still a senator at the time. And then he cannot defeat FEM because FEM, Ferdinand E. Marcos, is so very intelligent and smart. Okay? He ruled our country for almost 20 years. Nobody will defeat him because he is so brilliant. Okay? And this Ninoy Aquino cannot do anything. Okay? The last resort is to act rebellious. You know rebellious? To do things against the government. Okay, now he partnered with Joma Sison and they created the Communist Party. Okay, you know that Communist Party, the NPA and everything. And then, since FDN is the president at the time, and it is in the law that if there is a threat to national security, a martial law will be a sole right of the president of the republic. That's why he forced to use that because he could no longer control the rebellious things around his government before. You know, the equation is very easy to understand, really. Really. So no need to have evidence like that. It's very common, okay? So it's just like a jealousy over power. Okay, the other one cannot defeat Marcos, okay? And then they do everything and they cannot topple down. Topple down meaning overthrow. They cannot topple down the regime and the governance of FEM. That's why they act rebellious, something like that. They do things against the government, and then, not enough, they go outside from the country to ask help from international, which is the America. And then the America also helped this, Cory Aquino. And then this Cory Aquino, because he's the president at the time, she fabricated all the books from elementary to high school, and they reflected the reverse of Marcos's. Okay, so that's things like that. And Baden, she changed the constitution also. Remember, the 1987 Philippine Constitution is very, very trash until now. And then you will be questioning to yourself. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just questioning myself. Okay, that was a 1987 Constitution. Okay, today is already millennial, 2000 plus. What's the reason we will not amend the Constitution? Because if you will try to amend the Constitution, they can no longer do corruption. Okay? And they cannot escape anymore for the loopholes, may mga butas-butas doon. Okay? So, that's why the federal political party has been developed by Rodrigo Duterte so that we will have a cha-cha. You know, cha-cha, charter change. We need to amend our constitution because that was so obsolete. 1987 constitution. Guys, we are now 2022. Subtract 2022 to 1987. If we upgrade our mobile phones, if we upgrade our laptop, if we upgrade our lifestyle, our living, then we cannot upgrade our constitution. Okay, think smartly. Okay, why? Well, there's something question mark. Why? All are being upgraded. All are being enhanced. The resources are already enhanced. We are now living in the modern world for the technology, modernization, but we did not upgrade our constitution. What's the reason? That's why the federal political party was being used by Bongbong Marcos. Now, because the federalism, we need to change our system. Because if we change our system, the rest will follow. Okay? It is not really changing by people. If we change the people using the same system, then there will be no effect. It's just the same. We need to change first the system, then secondly the people, so that they will be following the right ways how to govern the country well, okay, for the benefit of the better world. Right? Di sa kinsa pa mo presidente diha, kung di ma-change ang system, maulang gyapon, maulang gyapon na yung sundon. So, there will be no progress. That's why federalism or federal political party is the best. Federalism. Okay? So we need to change to federal system. Okay? Meaning the locality will be enjoying. For example, if we have the businesses in our places, then the people there will enjoy. Because what happened now, the profit from regions to regions will be collected by the national to the Luzon. And the Luzon will enjoy the higher salary because of that issue. And then the localities of every region are very small salary. And they have to go to Manila to seek for a job because the basic salary there is higher than the regions to regions in the provinces. So if the federalism will comes in, it will be equal. There will be equality. Okay, something like that, and also for the businesses, for the micro businesses. Okay, do you get the point? And it's been discussed also by Marcos of his platform, and the agriculture also will be developed very well. Agriculture, because our agriculture has been left behind. Because our present administration are focusing on the infrastructures, build, but our agriculture suffers also on it. You know what I mean. Okay, so we need to improve our agriculture and also the education, education, and our strengthening our economic policies. Okay, something like that. Okay, I got it from reading lang siya, research like that, blah, 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 so and so. Sa mga political analysts, I really read, okay, something like that. Okay, ganun siya guys. Okay, so that's why there's no justice for Ninoy Aquino, because the one who killed Ninoy Aquino is also related by blood with Corazon Aquino. You get the point? They will never dig it out, because if they dig it out, it could be his brother, his nephew, his, like that, kumpare, whatever. So, mga bulyaso tanan. That's why they just forget it. Okay? So in that case alone, there's no justice. Okay? You get the point? Then why we will trust them? Okay? If they cannot seek the truth until now for 30 years, and then why we will vote them? Okay? You get the point? So, there's no justice if we cannot find the truth, then we will go for the truth. Nakakaloka. Okay, so that's why this is not a bloody in politics, but that's what I understand. Because also when I was in elementary, also I was also brainwashed by these textbooks. Okay, that Marcos are corruption, something like that. But when I grow older and older, I found out the reverse. Okay, that it was a false history pala siya. naluloko pala yung tao. Because before kasi guys, there's no social media. Only the mainstream media, the TV, the radio, we will just believe immediately. And we don't know, these entities are being funded by these liberal parties or whatever, or the oligarchs, something like that. Then they will only, give the news in favor to them. And they will twist the reality up to now. Something like that, guys, okay? Then, actually, I'm not a pro Marcos. I'm not a Marcos loyalist, but I'm just evaluating two sides of the coins. Like that. Really. Okay, I studied a lot. Okay? If I studied very well in balancing chemical equations, and if I solve so many things in transport phenomena, then I cannot solve in that simple equation. Okay, only politics. You get the point? If I solve so many fractionating tower, distillation, liquid extraction, absorption, mass transfer, name it, all difficult topics in chemical engineering, if I can solve that, then why cannot solve simple politics? It's easy to understand. Okay? Without jealousy and pride, okay, our country will not be on the ground because of too much hunger in power like that, and wealth, money like that, and everything. Okay, you get the point. Something like that, guys. Okay. I read also in social media trillions of pesos budget of Aquino, and then there's no improvement. But for Marcos, it's only 200 billions, but there's a lot of improvements. I think thousands of improvements and projects in our country since the beginning. Because he governed our country for 20 years, from 1950, not from 1965 to 1986. Guys, 1965 to 1986, plus na siya, guys. 20 years ba na siya? Okay, but before than that, okay, they're already rich because he is the lawyer of Mr. Italiano. The Italiano is the very rich, he is a very rich person owning the Maharlika. Because our country before is a Maharlika, there's no name. And then Marcos is the lawyer. Remember, Marcos is top-notcher, number 1 in the bar exam. Okay? 98%. And until now, nobody surpasses his score in the bar exam. Our president, Ferdinand Marcos, is very brilliant. Really. And he only took the study inside the, like a cell. Okay? Like a prison jail, like something like that. Okay? And then he scores very, very high. Like that. Okay? Maybe that's also the reason that he always win the cases. And then I read also some topics there, guys, that every case that the Marcos will win, the one who accused them will pay money. That's why there's nobody will take case against them, because every time they file a case, they will always win. Amazing! I read that. Then, if, for example, if I file a case against them, be sure that I have the solid evidence, or else it will fire back to me. I will pay them for the damage I'll attack to them, something like that. That's why nobody dares to file a case until now. What have now is only haka-haka, meaning the obsolete records in the past, not the present. You get the point? Sa time nila ni Kuya Aquino, ganon, 1980s. But there's no cases in the late 2000. Because every time you file a case, these Marcoses will always win. And then if they will win, you will pay a money for the damage you make to them. Something like that. And they will become more rich. Because they win so many cases already. And that cases they win will be converted to money. And they deposit it in the bank. That's why they are very rich until now. Okay? You get the point? So that's why nobody dares to file a case against them. You get the point? So any kind of paninira, di talaga umubra. Nakakaloka. Diba? Okay, ganun siya. And now the score will be 56% and the line is only 24. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so they will win. Okay? It's gonna be Viva and Sarah. Viva and Sarah, mga kapatid! Okay, ganun siya. Okay. I think the engineers will not go for Lemmy. Really. Mga palangga, because they said lawyers for Lenny, doctors for Lenny, but engineers for Lenny, I don't think so, because even 40 times 4, Lenny cannot answer very well. His answer is 1,600. 40 times 4. Even a kindergarten student can answer that very well. 160 only, but Lenny Robredo answers 1,600, and she is a lawyer. Then how come engineers for Lenny? No, it's not, because engineers are good in math. It's a great insult to us that we will be for her. Engineers for Lenny daw. No, it's not. You get the point? And I wonder why the doctors are for Lenny also. She cannot even distinguish what is a vein, and a vein and a nerve. Okay? Nerve is in the nervous system, and the vein is here in the arm. And he said, that's a nerve. And then why this doctors for Lenny? So, di ba? Parang insult. Okay, you get the point? So, nagpakatanga din. Okay. You get the point? Muna siya. Okay? Ganun na lang, eh. We will just tell, okay, na I will never vote for her because I am good than her. Di ba? And over my dead body, I am intelligent than her. So I will never vote Lenny Robredo. Ganun lang. Kalas. Tapos. Wala nang mga away-away. You will just say, I will not vote for her because I am intelligent than her. Period. Prove it. Okay, let's prove it. Come here and we will debate. We will make a debate. Something like that, okay? We will have an examination. English, math, science, history, something like that. Of course, matatalo niya ako sa economics or sa mga because she is a lawyer, right? But for science, math, and any subjects, iwan ko na lang. Charot! Charot lang ha? Nanghagit pa ko. My point is really, guys, if it's very downgrading, I don't have a trust. Okay? Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. And her credentials and professions doesn't echo of what she is projecting in the public. You get the point? It's just like a decoration in herself. Or we don't know, maybe she'll just pay a nanny to pass or whatever, something like it, because it doesn't reflect to her personality when she talks in the public, when she gives answers in the debate, when she gives a statement like that. Everything, it doesn't reflect, okay, her profession of being a lawyer. It doesn't reflect her many credentials. Okay? You get the point? So, it doesn't match. Okay? Muna siya. That's the reason that I don't like her. And aside from that, she is very liar also. Napakasinungaling. Okay, because before she said also, she will never run for president. And nagsalita talaga siya ng tapos. She said, never, never. But then, again, sabi niya, she will run for the president. She don't have strong principle in life. Okay? She easily, she is fickle-minded. Fickle-minded meaning changeable. Okay? Like that. So, sinungaling talaga siya. Okay? And I don't like her. Okay? Ganon. Okay? Mandaraya pa din siya because, in 2016, there's a lot of evidences, gathered by Attorney Glenn Shaw. Okay? Really. Proven and tested. And then, the COMELEC cannot file a case against Attorney Chong because if this COMELEC will try to sue or to try a case against Glenn Chong, ang tanang baho mga release, because that's really fact. And this Attorney Glenn Chong, lahat mga SD cards, mga basa, really, okay, gigibasa mo sa kampo ni Lenny Robredo, dili na siya mabasa, hindi ka recount. You get the point? They try to recount the votes, okay, but sad to say, it was being wet, meaning basa. So, dili na mabasa sa computer. Okay? Ang mga lugar in which the DDM is really having a good, higher than Lenny in the places. Okay? So, that's why wala na yung padayon ang recount. You get the point? Ang gasto na sa kayo mo recount. Okay? That's gonna be so. That's why she has an image that she won. through cheating. Okay, and until now, the people really knows that she win through cheating. The reputation and her image is not good. Okay, and she will forever bring that until her death. Okay, until her last breath, she will forever engrave that in her body and soul that the people are having an impression she won through cheating. You get the point? And it's not good. You having a mind like that. Oh, I won through cheating. It's not good. Okay, so like that. Okay, so that's why I don't like her. I don't want to vote her. Okay, over my dead body. Grabe no, over my dead body talaga. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry kayo nakastorya kong gamay sa kuan. Politics is not my expertise, but that's what I feel. Okay? And, I really love Bongbong Marcos because he's very humble. Okay, very humble. And then, very sincere. You can see on his face, in his eyes, in his gestures, the way he talk, and his platform or government are very, very clear. Doable. Meaning, it can be executed through his vision, wow, to make our country great again. Oh, diba? The tiger of Asia. Nakakaloka. Okay, bye-bye. God bless everybody. You can comment down below in my comment section. Pasaylo ako ninyo guys, kinagsurya ko politics. It's not my topics about that. But na-express na jug ko. Okay? And then, kanisang mga kakampings ba, huy kung kanang hutdan mo kanang mga rason ba, ay mo palabis ng gibate, eh. Palabis yung gusto yung gibate. Siguro sa nila naman yung hisgutan. Muhunong na ganinang ni-post, ay mo sige yaw-yaw. Di ba? Kayo ay, di mo magdaong. Ako na dyan yung Bisaya. Di dyan magdaong. Pero tabi yung tanong ako, nanay resibo. Ang kanang resibo, gipresent inyo sa inyo nga fabricated ang resibo, di magdaong. Di ba? Napay-pirma sa Supreme Court, ng ganon. Inon yun yung fabricate pa dyan ko na lamin na kipakaon sa inyong baba, di kipon mo tuo. So, there's no reason, there's no way to explain na talaga siya. Okay? Muna, sarado na jud ba? Oh, sarado. Di na jud kasud si Linlen sa kasing-kasing. Oh, sarado na jud. Pero sa itong kuhan guys ba, katong dito sa merkado, sa Tandang Sura, nakakita mo ato guys. Bisaya na jud ni ha? Oh, di ba? Nakita mo ato katong si kuhan ba, si Dumansano, si Chiripay, nag-house-to-house campaign. Katong sa mga nanindag isda. Katawan jud ko ato ay, moto niya. Sus, ilang i-convert na ang anong mag-enjoy ko no, anang sus, paglakaw bito lang ni Chiripay o ni Dumansano, ilang ikumot ang katungkuan, itong flyers, ikumot, gilabay sa basura niya, bongbong lang yapon sila. Palakaw lang nila si Dumansano o si Chiripay. O, di ba? Sarado talaga, no? Okay. Ganun na lang siya. Okay. Whatever happens. Okay, thank you so much for watching. God bless everybody. Najulitan ako sa akong vlog karon. Salamat sa inyong tanan. Okay, this is Bisaya and English language of instruction and communication. This is again a singer eternal voice. God bless everybody. And please stay safe. Oh my gosh. Okay, mag-isgot ta karon og mag-isgot ta og topics karon sa kuan sa like chattel years ni Common Ani. Move out sa ako kay makaon kog kuan. Cha. Sa mo karon ko naguy na kabush. Di mo ko mukhaog rice. Okay, like that. So, kabush or brown bread. Cha. Okay. Mauna siya guys. Thank you so much kasi yung pagtanaw guys. Salamat tayo. God bless everybody. See you later in my next vlogs. Pasayluwa lang dyan ko ninyo. Nakastorya akong politics. Ako yung kipanikamutan. Hindi ko maka-istorya bitaw. Wala mo akong bakbawi. Thank you. Sorry po kayo because that's coming from my heart. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. God bless everybody. See you later. Kakaloka? Ay, nakakaloka! Hala, oy!